have a error for some reason. How's it going, you guys? Welcome in. I'm gonna be working on a blank today. A couple of blanks that I have. And we're gonna start off where we left off at for this one here. The Gwenpool. Once again, make sure to check out the shop if you find something interesting. I am a commission-based artist, so if you have any commissions, digital, traditional that you might need, I do sketches, I do sketch cards, blank covers, as well as 8x11 art paper. Mostly when it comes to commissions, I mostly do sketch cards in the art paper until I get more blank covers. So blank covers for now, you can't get any commissions for them. But we still do our thing with the sketch cards as well as the art papers. Once again, I do appreciate y'all for joining in. If you are going to sit here for a while, I really do appreciate it as well. Take your time out for a little old me. May, how's it going? How's it going? Appreciate you for jumping in. Appreciate you for jumping in. We're about to start shortly, guys. In the meantime, I hope everybody's doing all right. I'm pretty much good myself. You know, we've just been knocking down some projects, getting some videos started and everything like that. You said I'm at work sneaking a minute on here. LOL. I appreciate you for taking the dangerous route to check out what we've been doing. So, like I said, we're gonna be working on this Gwenpool. Like I said, we're just gonna do some sketches for it, some special sketches, and then later in the future we'll probably do some for Gwenpool. I'll probably might ink it, but let's see what I might come up with. Let's go and pick out our paper. Make sure the there you go. All right. Yeah, what's going on? Appreciate you for joining in, son. How we doing today? You said doing good. How about you? I'm good. I'm good. Like I said, just doing we're doing a blank right now. We're doing, like I said, Gwynpool here. Like I said, guys, we still got some sketch cards over here that are in the shop right now. So make sure to go ahead and check those out if you want to go ahead and see what we got cooking up. There's nothing in the shop. Oh, hold on, guys. My bad. I thought I did them all already, but I forgot I canceled one of them. My bad. My bad. My bad. I didn't add nothing onto the live for this part here. So mostly they're just blanks though. But you can commission some sketch cards if y'all like. Um, Make sure I got everything. Where'd that go? And it should be some right now. Yep, right there. Mm. Okay, y'all should see it now. Mm-mm-mm. All right, let's see there. It's up there now? Yeah. Like I said, yeah, I just forgot. And welcome in Facebook as well as YouTube. Like I said, I can't see our comments, but we are live on Whatnot, and I do appreciate y'all for subscribing or liking the live. And gifts are always appreciated as well, so I do appreciate that. Mm-mm-mm. Hey. And once again, I do appreciate y'all for sharing the live as well. Does help me out. Does help me out. Yeah, I don't draw too many weapons based things, so you have to excuse me. I'm more melee kind of like making weapons than these stuff. don't feel like I'm not doing a bad job. Yeah, what's up? What's up? How y'all doing? Yeah, I'm just doing this little nice little Gwenpool sketch. How we doing today? We got Halloween stuff already. Oh shoot! My tell too. You know, Shane got the shop running. You know, finally. So, matter of fact, I need to get the app for it though. But yeah, now that y'all would go to my link tree now, which is really dope, is that now you can go to a shop. You can get those prints. You feel me? I did add some more stuff too to the shop here. You know what I'm saying? I did my one of a kind original art there. I added my chibis. I did add a comic right here. I did add Storm in there now, you know what I'm saying? So that was pretty dope. So I went ahead and got Storm. Couple, like I said, we still added more comic book characters and stuff like that. But I do also want to push my chibis as well out. Yes, yes, this is for sale. This is gonna be a print. Yeah, P, this is a print. I'll just let you know that. You know, yeah. But yeah, I did add another special edition. We did Ben Sam, so added that too. So basically, what special editions are is mostly when I do my Cartoon Network horror crossover. That's what kind of already I put these up now for grabs. So if people ever want to be like, hey, you know, I watch Halloween, you know, Cartoon Network stuff, they're now available. You know what I'm saying? People can get prints of them. So like I said, you can get the Camp Laszlo and Jason. You can get the Ed, Ed and Eddie with Mike Myers, and then you can get Pup Named Scooby Doo with Pennywise, and then you can get Scooby Doo, Cujo, and Courage. So that's where my little special, you know, section there. So other special editions, I have my hand drawings as well. So I always make sure to double click so you can see, like, if they're a set or anything like that. But I usually have them in the title to let you know if it's a set or if it's a two-parter type of thing. But yeah, that's the whole entire thing. And then, oh yeah, for my original art, I only have these up here for now. I have Hourglass coated in pink, Top Hat in black, and then Simple Beauty. Got those three, those four covers now. Hourglass is a night and day, so yeah, there's two different versions of it. So keep that in mind. But yeah, just try to. So like I said, the store is up. You know, have a few people that visit the shop. Excuse me, boards all over the place. Visit the shop and everything like that. But no bite yet. No bite yet. Hopefully, we'll get some people in. I will be adding my other pieces as well. My 8x11, my 8x10. I already did the 10. But yeah, try to promote it as much as I can. But you already know how certain, like TikTok and all those places are. Like we try to self promote. So ain't nothing that you missing. Unless you was already doing like big content already, or like midway before the whole entire transition, you would probably do good. But yeah, right now it's just you got to do a little bit extra more than what you normally do. And sometimes it's good, you can get into your editing skills and want to do certain things, but like skits, uh it's just time lapses still succeed. I still do the process videos. They still do their thing. I did set up another TikTok. That's my last one, but I'm just mostly gonna just focus, just throwing out process videos. That's it. Some tutorials here and there, and no live stream. I'm just gonna let that shit rock. You said I've noticed that people been making, yeah, they've been making some crazy shit. But we're artists, you know what I'm saying? It's not much we can actually do until it repeats the next artist thing that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? What makes ours kind of like different is what the art is, you know what I'm saying? And people ain't just sometimes people just ain't there for that. But you don't want to put yourself in a demographic of just artists, you know what I'm saying? You want to be around, you want your art to, branch out to everybody. And that's what I'm trying to do. Just look for different pathways to where it can branch out. So people share my store, and because we already know we're already fighting with the algorithm already on that. So I'd be like, when someone says, "Hey, I have my store, I have this stuff in the inventory," I make sure to push it as much as I can. Put it in a story, share it, like it. You know, Giving it to people, like sharing it to like 15 people, or sometimes they don't even look at their own inboxes and stuff like that. I'd be like, sharing it that way is kind of a waste of time. I think it's now a waste of a time period when it goes that way. Now it's all about just sharing it in the story, reposting it. You know what I'm saying? And if you have somebody close that really just would look at your videos, then yeah, but that's one person though. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It is tough. But I try not to let that negative stuff hit me. You know what I'm saying? Where you know it's just that we got in the game at late. You know what I'm saying? We may have been doing art for a while, but we just got into the game late. Where back then people was selling left and right of art pieces because that's all people had to do was just sit on the internet all day. You know what I'm saying? And that is even before COVID. So people still have made a joint, but this is where you need to put your creativity in industry sometimes, or sponsors and stuff like that. You can do it other way. Smith is an artist that actually has got his following and has been full time when he said try promoting some stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's mostly art based. Some of the stuff is art based. Some stuff is streaming based. You know, comfortability of making your content all around. And he does really good. He does really good. So because you don't have to do that on here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. On here, you don't have to do that. Just do the work. You know what I'm saying? I try to live stream with people, but everybody got their own time slots, their days. So it's like, I try not to bother. But I'd be like, sometimes I'd be thinking like, if I don't say anything, man, it could be a missed opportunity, that we can both share both of our followers, and then we can make money off of both of our, audience, you know, sell a lot more better. But I'll be trying to join everybody's whatnot, but sometimes they'll hit the same days, same time, or they'll be on a time where you're either you sleep or you just doing something, you know what I'm saying? So it's really hard to have that balance. Oh, it only works for one, but not if you just basing it off of just. That is true. No, actually, that is true because you're going to be jumping on theirs, and then their shop is the only thing. That's why I say people should just have it like for collaboration. Like if you're live streaming with somebody, y'all should do like both should have like a similar thing in your store. So if you're jumping on their live and you're guesting, and they can't look at your store, at least they can go to your profile and then grab the store of the collaboration stuff that you're having together, or like that bonus thing, like, oh, we're doing like maybe like $5 a sketch, what I'm saying, go on both of ours. And if you want my style, go to my shop. If you want his style, go to his shop. And then it's just like it's just that one item that sits there, like how we already have it right now in our shop where we do the flyers and stuff like that. So it's much easier than just having an individual piece to be shown. So I did that with my digital art too, because who knows, people might bite, because I do really good job in digital art. So, and then like I said, the people and what they buy through digital, they get a print for free. They get what they drew or what I drew for free, and it gets shipped to them. So it's like, two birds, one stone type with a digital part. I understand people do prefer, traditional, but I'm like, it's so limited. It's very limited. We gotta wait on covers. We gotta wait on this. We gotta wait on that. Go to our favorite shop. Ain't nothing in it. Like, damn. So as I said, man, digital is very viable, man. Very viable. He said me and Josh would go live. Go live together, but my viewers wouldn't join because it would be a different vibe. Oh, see, that's one of the things I'll say too. Sometimes we gotta know our vibe. We gotta know if we can banter together. You know what I'm saying? Because chemistry, just because, and I think this is a real important conversation, but I'm not gonna drone on too much like I usually do. But I think it's a best interest to live stream, not for like a certain purpose until later. You know what I'm saying? It's like a podcast. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have somebody either when they podcast with somebody, they either actually fully actually know them. You know what I'm saying? It's a best friend or just a friend that kind of like I just know and I fuck with the same thing. But you gotta know each other. You gotta know if you could banter each other. Can your chemistry work together in that way? Now some people can be universal. They can work for anybody. You know what I'm saying? But it's really specific if you're of a person. That's why I say when we live stream, I don't want it to get quiet for too long. Maybe we'll be quiet for like maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes, but we gotta spark something back up, get people interested back into the live because no one wants to like I said, at the end of the day, times change. No one talent ain't gonna get you to an area anymore. I wouldn't say it's not anymore, but if you're looking to specifically look for an audience to be public, it's all around audience and not for an industry or for business or anything like that. You would have to subject yourself to doing skits, doing a little bit, maybe some animation or doing tutorials always is a good thing. Not even only tutorials, talking about your art pieces. This is other things that you could be doing that can help solidify your ground even stronger. But then also you got to make sure you're aware of the algorithm. Now it's good that like me and you, we draw a lot of stuff. We draw, mostly you draw anime. I like drawing anime. I like drawing cartoons. Now comic books is a third thing I like to do, but it's mostly cartoons and anime I prefer to draw. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot to it. It's a lot of stuff I can draw from them too. two genres. Now I can base my artwork solely just on those two, and then the algorithm would know where to put me at. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things when you're doing a lot of content and the algorithm doesn't know where you go it's going to put you at. Sometimes it don't even be shadow banned. Sometimes it's not your content. It's about what is the source, what is your niche to the content that you're providing. What kind of artist are you that you're trying to give people? So now this was a question that I had struggled with for a few days now because um I saw a video that said you got to know your niche as an artist because sometimes just your talent alone, they see you draw, they get mesmerized for a second, but it's like, how do I get somebody that locks in onto it? You know what I'm saying? And frankly, it just be your niche. Like, what is your niche? What makes your art separated from others, and what makes it very important for you or to you? You know what I'm saying? So, what I would be is a comic book or an indie comic creator because I do my characters, I do my own comics, I do my pages, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But then also, what separates that from besides the indie comic creation, I do nostalgia, pop culture art pieces. Y'all always see me do mostly, I'll do some up to date anime or cartoon, but mostly y'all will see me do nostalgia stuff that we grew up with or further back. You know what I'm saying? So, judging by what my art looks like, I do nostalgia art pieces. So when I jump in, when some people jump into the fray, what would my demographic be? You know what I'm saying? People who respect old stuff, good stuff that they grew up on. You know what I'm saying? Versus people who would draw mainstream stuff or draw something that's very relevant. I still do that. Don't get me wrong, but it'll be a while. I'm looking for people who are into because, like I said, I know I want to do a new anime that people is talking about right now. It's called Witch Hat or something like that. Something like that. Something like I think that's the anime called Witch Hat. But yeah, I see like it's interesting. I kind of look. I will fuck with it, but I don't got Crunchyroll, and it's only on Crunchyroll right now. I'm watching Reincarnate as a Sword because I love my isekai. It's just I need to branch out more besides Konosuba and Slime. But other than that, though, um, that's what you got to find. You got to find your niche, and your niche is a great importance that you got to do. And then you got to find your quotes. What is your niche quotes? You know what I'm saying? That's going to gravitate. What is your introduction, basically, when you find your niche? So, say for instance, if I'm a indie comic book creator, right? My niche would be coming out as follow the journey of building an independent comic universe from scratch. That would be my niche to get people into your content when you live stream. So just like Whatnot, let people know your niche. Let people know what you are doing. What are you about? What kind of content that you're providing, or what kind of art that you're providing to them? Because you could just be like, I do art. Okay, what specifically? You know what I'm saying? So when you don't know what specifically your title under, because you could be like, oh, I do digital art. Okay, be specific. What exactly in digital art? Because like I said, art is art. Traditional art is art. Digital art is art. Painting is art is art. You know what I'm saying? It's just you got to know what specifically things you're doing. So what is it that you do that can gravitate people? You know what I'm saying? So if you're an anime artist, you like drawing characters in your style that are anime, then you will be that anime artist. You know what I'm saying? So now your algorithm will strictly put you in anime art. Now, if you do versatile stuff like how I do comic books sometimes, I'll do anime, I'll do cartoons. So I would stick to what my title inclines me to do, and that is nostalgia, pop cultural art. You feel me? So I like to draw some good shit, some old school shit. Cartoon Network back in the days, Nickelodeon, Disney back in the days. You know what I'm saying? And I would love to get into movies too. I would like to get into movies as well. I don't do a lot of movies that y'all have seen me do digitally, but I like to get into that as well, for sure. So don't get me wrong with that one. I'm gonna definitely get into that. But yeah, that's all we got to do. We just got to find our whole niche and what makes us separates other artists from doing the exact same thing that we're doing. Like, what is it? What are we doing that's different? Because a lot of people can do, like I said, a lot of people can do mainstream artwork, art or mainstream characters, but there'll probably be somebody that's doing side characters. I don't do mainstream. I do them sometimes, but I do mostly the side characters. You have someone that's just based their whole entire content off drawing on side characters the whole entire way. Just like how people base their artwork off of fan art and et cetera, et cetera. They base everything through that, and then they make themselves a nice, good fan base through it. A nice little fan base. Not does everything gonna pop off? No, not everything's gonna pop off, but it was a great idea, and it could still be a good idea because you just gotta let it, nourish and let it plant its roots. So that sometimes I gotta think of that. Like I said, we all get those moments where we feel like, no way, it's not really, fucking with our stuff. It's a little slow right now, and then, having the pressure of social media and their terms and conditions or their agreements and conditions are so terrible right now. It's like, yo, like we'll be the back burner of everything when we create stuff because people are not locking in on it. I mean, it's the harsh, but it's the truth at the end of the day. We do gotta just try to little, adapt, come into the game. So if I have to be editing videos and I don't really edit like that, I'll get used to editing. You know what I'm saying? It is worthwhile. But like I said, I did drop my tutorial video. A lot of people do will probably appreciate it. But for YouTube, actually, I posted that maybe it should be on going on like maybe like 9 hours now, and it didn't even break 40 views. You see how I mean? You see how the algorithm just fucks with you like that? Like I literally just not too long ago, I might as well show you. I might as well tell you the truth, the proof in the pudding, baby. So mind you, here's my YouTube right here, right? Here's the YouTube. Yeah, I'm putting out I'm throwing the algorithm shade. So check this out. You go on my YouTube, boom, right here. Now I do shorts a lot mostly, but they always fluctuate. Don't get it twisted. Let's start out way at the bottom, right? And this is how I can show y'all how my nostalgia or what I do specifically will reach people, right? I love doing Steven. It's been a while since I did Steven Universe art pieces, but a lot of people love my Steven Universe pieces of how I do it in my style. That's because I appreciate the show. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm very happy for it, and I gotta rewatch that shit again actually. But I really fuck with the show. My bad, my things are at low. But say for instance, I went from here from doing Paradise a split. It went for 1.1K views, blah blah blah. We supposed to be selling shit, and I'm over here giving y'all tutorial tips of how to manage y'all stuff. Like I said, whatnot is just something I just like to do on the side. But anyway, like I said, I did this fan. Someone said, "Hey, do a punk kind of style of Lapis and Paradise," and I did that. 452, but in Tumblr, that shit blew up. People loved it on Tumblr. You feel me? So that's why I said it's just the difference of where you're putting your art at. So that's why I always tell people, put that shit everywhere. Because, and then it's highly doubtful that people can steal your shit because you have it everywhere. So like I said, when you Google my name and you click my JR Arts 94, you literally will see nothing but my stuff all pop up on the Google imaging page. That's what I mean. Like it'll be rare someone can steal my shit because you can just put my name in and you can just be like, okay, this artist is matching with this one, but this other person's name is completely different. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'd be like, it'll be hard for people. That's why I don't worry about trying to copyright my shit like that because I post too much to to be like, hey, you stole my shit. Like obviously, people will be like, obviously. The only time they'll be able to do that is probably your notoriety or your credibility or people that knows you isn't all the way up there like that. But other than that, like I said, I did 1.2K likes when it came to Pop-Up Girls showing a whip for that. Then it started declining a little bit. It went at a stalemate from 558, 55.8, excuse me, 520 to 455. So what basically was saying that cartoons was hitting. My cartoons was hitting back to back right here with Pop-Up Girls in this Paradise. But right here, it didn't hit anything. You know what I'm saying? Could have been the day, could have just been the time and place or whatever like that, or something on it that kind of like triggered it to it. Like you're getting views, but it's not enough. JJK was still fresh in the game, but Rika, I think that's her name. She isn't an important character as her. I forgot the other guy's name, but the guy that's one of the powerful characters in JJK. Anyway, but I just liked her design. I just like how her meaning of how she became a cursed object or a cursed kind of like spirit. I just liked it, and so I did like this kind of like I don't remember my write this down. So I did like this kind of like this was one of the start of my symmetric ruler pieces, my symmetrical pieces where I just do a symmetric, detailed piece of that. I did Mako from Kill la Kill. That was successful because one, it's nostalgic, but not a lot of people know it, so it's not going to push it out as much. Spy X Family, I did Yuri. Of course, that's kind of like heads or tails with that anime sometimes, especially when they went on a long hiatus. Now, the Piccolo surprised me. I'm not gonna lie, the Piccolo did goddamn surprise me. But maybe if I hit it again, but people liked it. 32 people liked it. A lot of people in the comments, than average, than I usually get average to. I maybe get like break maybe 30 likes if I get around the 40 to 500 range. So don't always neglect your pieces of, oh, this didn't do good. When it really does terrible, you'll see numbers like I said, like I just did this tutorial here, and it's literally what 9 hours, like I said 9 hours ago, and a lot of people were just, I'm not saying a lot of people were, but not my. I will say this: it wasn't my close people because they still come in to support me, but it was the people that suggest shit and be like, oh man, you should do this tutorial. You should do tutorials. Once I do a tutorial, bitch, you ain't break that shit out and put on a story and everything like that. Yo, JR probably did a tutorial. Like, that's what I mean. Like, I always say, don't do shit that people fucking suggest because they don't even fucking want to know. They don't even know what they're gonna be suggesting to you. You know what I'm saying? So just do what you love. That shit will spark, and people just gonna fuck with it. You feel me? Now, when it comes to promotions, it's a different story. Sometimes the algorithm is gonna push you down because you're telling them to go to another website. That's just gonna be the facts of it. They are trying to not have people go to another. This is the reason why Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Patreon, now they're having shops because they're not trying to have anybody get off their app. So, but it's just so, I wouldn't say don't try it. Do try it still. Try doing a shop, but make it limited. Limit people's options. So when they say, "Do you have more?" You be like, "I got my shop here." You know what I'm saying? So people see a whole repertoire and inventory of your pieces. So when you do an online shop, put all your stuff that you want to sell or something that's very recent. Sometimes I try not to sell old stuff that I already have, but if I want to get rid of it, I'll probably make like a little tab like junkyard or junk sale or something like that. I don't know. And just sell shit for like $5. You know what I'm saying? For a print. But that's what I mean though. Like, do the online shops, cater to TikTok, cater to Instagram, let them bitch them on because they're gonna already decline your stuff if you try to self promote or tell your stuff. So just put stuff in their shop. Just put limited stuff. Don't put everything. Just put enough to where like, hey, people can come here for it, and then you can change it out and just keep it repeated. Whatever's in your shop, just keep changing out every time you're on TikTok shop or in the Instagram shop. Just keep changing it. So it's always something new, but also it's not showing everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a limited type of spot right there. You feel me? So this is my best options to tell you. Now, these are the ideas that I had. I just never executed them. I always wait. I don't know why I be waiting. I should be just hop into it and just do it. Yeah, I know that's just the old me. The new me now would most likely jump to it. Like I said, because it's a bad habit. I've had it for years where I wait too late to do shit. That's a little personal thing for me as an artist. It harms me, but I know I can lock in when I lock in now. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, all these pieces here, guys, that you see, they'll hit. Like I said, uh, I have a consistency with Steven Universe. Good on this one. Good on this one. Because like I said, you have people that will be sticking around like 20 views. You know what I'm saying? So think of the outcome. 400, 100, 1,000. Like I take this image. What would it look like if you fill somebody out, a whole entire group in a room, right? Of course, if you have 5 people that likes it, you can fill out a little small little chill spot in your room or something. You know what I'm saying? But then when you start seeing, okay, you start getting 10 views, getting 50 views, getting 100 views. Now 100 views. Now, granted, I don't know if y'all been to a theater for a very long time, but in a theater they can only house maybe up to 100, 125 to the max, maybe 200 people in a room. Depends. If you got those fancy IMAX, maybe like 200 something, but most of them can only hold to maybe like 60 to maybe 150. I'm just reaching right there for the 150, but I'm thinking it's maybe like 125 around that. So imagine you filling out a whole entire theater in a room and people looking at your work. That's a movie theater. They buying your ticket. Basically, that view is like a ticket. They went to see your shit and boom, it blocked up. But see, that I understand it does frustrate you because those numbers is not gonna make the algorithm boost for you. You gotta hit some like 10K, 20K, 30, 50 at the most to get your shit like flushing. Like people are literally, you'll have people still liking your shit or reposting or favoring your stuff that you posted 5 months ago. You know what I'm saying? That's where it happened with my Eurorichi piece when I had her, uni, and they were like, "How did you put that on TikTok?" Don't even worry about it, kid. You know what I'm saying? Because I had the sweet spot. I knew what people like. And they were freaks, and they act like they weren't. You feel me? They were freaky deaky like that. All I had to do was censor a little something, something, and guess what? I went to almost 30K views, baby. That's the highest I would say. The highest true one I did is when I first started TikTok, and I dropped those Kids Next Door pieces and them Power Rangers and them TMNT. Those were my best three, even though my art was terrible back in the day. But those were my best three videos on TikTok. And them shit, and the highest one went about, I think, 150K. You know what I'm saying? That was not bad. I was like, okay. And that's what solidified my holding to get to that 20K followers, that 25, the 30. Even though I was consistent, you see how eventually it dies out, where now you only get your supporters. So now your art is like, you're like, yo, what happened to all those damn followers I had? Because those are just numbers. People saw it in that heat of the moment. They like that shit. They followed. They said, yo, I love your shit. But then next, it just dissipates. It withers away in a way. You know what I'm saying? But don't look at it as a loss. Look at it as an opportunity to say, I know who's actually down for the content I provide. And if more people comes in, that's great. Because it's going to be the same, cause and effect type of situation. We're going to get people in. People will love it. They'll probably follow you. Shit, they'll probably even reshare it sometimes. But that one person that said they saw you on their For You page, and they liked it. And they said, yo, this is really good ass work. I'll like it, comment, share it, but that'll be it. That's the last time you'll hear that same person. You know what I'm saying? So now they became someone that would actually invest, but something just went and clicked and said, yo, I didn't click all the way on the profile to see all the other artwork pieces they do. That's why when I see people consistently like my stories, because like I said, stories, not a lot of people watch stories. Not a lot of people. I do get a good grip, good little moment of people liking like my stories sometimes. But it'll be like when it's almost done, like it's like 2 hours, 22 hours, and then like got 3 more hours left of the story. But it's great. I get about 32 at the max I've seen is 35 here and there. Mostly 32 is a more standard number I get. But once I start seeing that, it's like, okay, people are actually clicking onto my stories, and some people are actually staying to watch it. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the greatest things because I got a lot to offer than your regular doom scroll type of situation. If you fuck with art, it's because the algorithm puts you there. You know what I'm saying? Or it's somewhat to your algorithm already that you have. So if you like anime and you like art, the people that does art for that said anime, genre, then they're gonna put you with that category. With also people talking about anime and debates and stuff like that, and talking about the books and shit. So that's what I said. But nostalgia was my thing. My biggest number that I did on YouTube was actually that Coraline. And then the second biggest was the Pretty Please I Don't Want to Be a Magical Girl, which she still ain't see it. As much as I keep tagging her ass, but she be reposting everybody got there art. I was like, damn, like, is algorithm holding me that bad? Like, yo, I gotta literally post it underneath some shit that she has and then post that bitch in there. That's the only time. But I really did it out of love because I love the comedy she had in the characters, and I do look forward to seeing her show flourish. So I did this out of just the love and see what it might come into being. But it is crazy that ain't nobody seen that shit. Everybody was like, "Yo, imagine somebody that you want to see this particular art piece that you did." But everybody else is like, damn, ain't nobody seeing this shit. Like, hold up, ain't nobody sharing this. I see, like, I don't fucking know, man. So we did good. We did 307 likes. That's the biggest I got. Coraline came in with a 284. But what separated Coraline? Now, this is one of the important things I like to talk about too in this live right now. What separated Coraline from Jack Skellington? A Nightmare Before Christmas. What separated those two? Both popular, both got the same level of respect in the game. But what separated that? What pushed one out further than the other? Now, I had this conversation before, not too long ago, and I can talk about these two pieces too: the Jabber and the Kafka, aka Kaiju number 8. I can talk about that next too. But these two cartoons, different, and one did way better than the other. Why did Jack Skellington, for all people who loves this motherfucking character, why didn't that thing do better than the damn Coraline? It's because you don't see a lot of Coraline. That is the thing. So that's what branched me to be a nostalgic pop culture artist, because I think of characters that no one thinks about or don't see enough of. People will draw it, but you don't see enough of it. And then what makes that talent push past that boundary where people say talent just not enough, where talent that not enough jumps and skyrockets back to the top because they did something that people don't really see like that. And then on top of that, your skills and your technique or your style pushed it to the top, which is your talent. It put it to the top. So I always believe in, yes, it's a double-edged sword, or it's the two sides of the same coin. When it comes to our talent isn't enough, and the other side, you got to edit, you got to learn, do new different ways, you got to learn how to adapt. But when you flip it and you put more into the talent of drawing something that no one really ever sees, but you barely did the minimum, which I did a process video, that blew out of the water versus the Jack Skellington, because there's a lot of content about Jackson. There's people already there's still merchandise being made with Jack Skellington. Nightmare Before Christmas. They just dropped like a little bouquet of those characters for Valentine's Day this year that you can see at your local Walmart. A Walmart. Stitch would be your second closest character that everybody sees. Your other characters would be your mouses, Mickey and Minnie, some basic iconic Disney characters. But what's going to separate you from doing those main characters? I could do an extremely goofy movie, still a classic, still iconic, but there's not a lot of content for it. Not a lot of people do it. So when people see your version of it, it can be like, damn, this shit is great. You know what I'm saying? Say for instance, anime wise, why did the Jabber do better than the Kaiju number 8? Both did great, but why did that triumph further more? Because this is where shit gets interesting. This is where it gets tricky for you. For me, nostalgia is where it's at for me, but that's just me. But if you're an anime artist and you do a lot of anime, what's going to set you atop? Obviously, it's going to be your talent, your skills, and what you do. That will set you above everything. So mind you, keep it in mind that when you place it, you got to place it where what's hot and popular. That is where it comes in as well. Sometimes you got to do mainstream, but sometimes people forget that mainstream shit sometimes ain't real. It'll be a smoke and mirrors for you as an artist when you do anime. Smoke and mirrors. You got to do stuff that's nostalgic. You got to do stuff that's not mainstream. Do stuff that's not mainstream. People gonna be like thinking that your whole entire knowledge in the whole anime biz is at a great spot because you're doing characters that ain't no one seeing, that ain't really putting a lot of attention to. I think Frieren is a great exception of doing fan art with, because you get a good dosage of her in the art area. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people draw, but there's a plenty that draws her. You feel me? And if they do draw, it's probably that one time. But you got people that consistently draws her. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's a very low percentage. That's maybe like a good 30% of the art community that does art. I mean, that does anime art. About 30% I've seen mostly does Frieren consistently. You feel me? They don't get bored of redrawing that character, you know? So for most of us, which is the other percentage, we'll probably do the character one time. You may do it one time in the another time in the future, and the future before that. Or if it's a commission based, that's how you'll do it more times than one. But if you're doing yourself doing an art piece, you're highly doubtful of doing that same character again and again, unless you truly love that show or that character. Um, so that's what set it apart. Gachakuda was just a show that just was popping off really hard, and then when Jabber came out, it just solidified a greater holding to it. Um, Same with the other hands, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Kaiju number 8. Kaiju number 8 got 19 likes. Avatar: The Last Airbender got 10. Sometimes, like I said, it could be your direction of how you're pulling the content. Is it repetitive? Sometimes process videos are just process videos. They're always going to be repetitive. So it's just as long as you have it different and you do great quality for it. Most likely, if you do Clip Studio Paint or Procreate, you get the time lapse for that. It's already going to be in a 1080p format. So the resolution is already going to be at that moment. So if it's below that, then it's probably something else. Like I was doing Absolute Batman on TikTok, even though I was able to do Absolute Batman on here, which got 1.2K likes. That actually, or views, excuse me, that actually was sitting at a 40 something. So Ghost in the Shell was taking the lead after I did. So basically, let's do like a running marathon. I didn't get back consistent on my art for TikTok, at least posted on TikTok. I didn't get back consistent until I dropped this Ed Netty piece. You feel me? I did drop the Storm. I believe I did drop the Storm, but after that, I went quiet for a while on YouTube, and then I brought back the Ed Netty piece. Now, the Storm, everybody loves Storm, guys. I don't care what anybody say. Everybody fucks with Storm. Storm is just one of those goats. I love Storm. I love her punk rock version of her. That's the reason why I did a punk like design of her. This is actually like me doing an original design for her, giving her jewelry, giving her like what she'll wear as a that punk stuff, punk kind of accessory. I fuck with it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? It was going to be a collaboration piece with me and another mutual, but he said the format went out weird, but I didn't get no answer from him for the collab, so I guess we just go about our business. But the Storm always going to do good. Everybody likes Storm. Storm is just one of those iconic characters, especially in Marvel, that if you do Storm, I'm guaranteed you'll do some good numbers with Storm. That's just depends on, like I said, your style as well as your skill level. If your skill level is not up there, you'll still get people that loves it, but it could be greater if you was more uh learning into your stuff, like leaning more into your studies than like I'll lean into my studies, but I'd rather do an illustration while I learn at the same time. But yeah, the Ed Netty coming back, of course, was going to hit a little slowly. I did try again I did do it before with my Pennywise and Scooby, my Pennywise and Pup named Scooby Doo. I think I did do it with Courage and Cujo. No, I didn't put them in there, but I did it about a good 4 times. This is my 850s by 1100s. This is where I draw them in a square box, and due to it, even though some of these shows are nostalgia, they just probably wasn't popular, or it just wasn't a good time to post, or it could be whatever. Because we know the process videos do still bring in numbers. So sometimes it's like, just what is it that's not pushing that algorithm out? Sometimes it's tricky. Because like I said, you got Generator Rex, My Gym Partner as a Monkey, and you got Shaolin Showdown. Both nostalgic pieces. All three are nostalgic. They breathe that nostalgia to itself. You feel me? Some of them had one episode, one season, some had 2, some had 6. You know what I'm saying? So these are nostalgia. These bring back memories. So mind you, it could, like I said, it could just be the video could have edited better maybe, or maybe it could be the sound. Sometimes you can use trending sounds also help as well to help solidify the algorithm and push your content out. But sometimes I like to match the mood to the art piece. I like the if the art piece is going to be a certain way. If I did Generator Rex, if they don't have his theme, I'll try to do something that kind of resemble like, oh, this might look like something he'll listen to when I draw or when I look at this piece, or match up with what the theme song is. So if I find another song that matches almost close close in like beat or like how the energy it provides, then I'll do it with the music there. Um, like I said, some of the pieces didn't do really well when it came to the 8x11s. These were all made by 8x11s. This is not my 1080 stuff. Sometimes it's good, just depends on what I draw. So as you see, I dropped off of cartoon for a minute because they weren't really doing well. Went to comic book, which is Spider Gwen. Went to Miles. Miles blew up to being a 1.4K view. And then when I try to bring cartoon back, you see how it dipped. It went right back down. It took half. I just got almost like half back. I had myself. I gave myself 473 back from that 197. So that's what I'm saying. It's a game. It's like I love playing this game. You know what I'm saying? It's battling the algorithm. You don't know what's gonna hit. You don't know what's gonna do. Maybe do it a certain way, like this way or that way. You know what I'm saying? So if a process video didn't work, maybe doing a process video of me literally drawing it and they watching my hands go along the screen drawing it, or me talking about the piece, what inspired it, or give my niche that locks people into the video to say, hey, watch me draw such and such, or be like, hey, I'm a nostalgia culture artist, or I'm a nostalgia artist that draws good old shows that's back in cartoon, anime, comics, et cetera, et cetera. You can throw that in there to let people lock in, like, oh shit, this man's drawing old school shit. I want to see what old school shit he's drawing. So that kind of hits you too. So like I said, I did the Pennywise. It hit back down to almost half. Dropped this Battle Beast, which I'm not really proud of, but dropped this Battle Beast, went back to 1.6K likes. Went to anime now. Anime, it still makes money. You feel me? I'm playing. But yeah, it still makes a great effort in what you're drawing. Um, like I said, you just be the time, the day, probably that day wasn't really good, but it did great numbers. It's 768. Boondocks, 766. Then I did Dobby. I don't know what came about Dobby, because if I do the day, hold on, April 3rd, that was on April 3rd. This one was on, let me see. No, did I say April 3rd or April 13th? Hold on, let me see. I think I posted both of them. Yeah, so I posted the Dobby, the Boondocks, and I believe I posted that the day before, or before yesterday of that 13th day. So posted these two. One did good. It matched with the other one for day 12 of April. But why did Dobby get better than the Boondocks? I'm gonna just say why, but I ain't gonna say why. But anyway, um, it's all about what your demographic as well. You gotta take that in consideration. I know it's not a race thing, but I'm just gonna call the kettle black when it comes to art. Um, certain demographics respect certain shit that they can fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Boondocks, a lot of people can't fuck with Boondocks, but it has a range of respect in the black community, very large range, and not only to the black community, but to others that watch and love Boondocks. But it's more catered to black people. You know what I'm saying? Black people can get it, and black people can understand it. You know what I'm saying? And some people just can't. You know what I'm saying? There's black people that probably wouldn't watch Boondocks and wouldn't understand it either. But it's a good show nonetheless, and I will always recommend people to watch Boondocks. It'll make you laugh. It makes you think about stuff. Fuck with it. But Dobby just placed on top because, come on, it's My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia just finished like what, this year or last year? Their anime just finished, so it's kind of like, and then Dobby's a very strong and popular character. So mind you, just the way I did it, where I showed his younger version to his older self, or his last moment of seeing Dobby, I did that. You know what I'm saying? So it did flourish. So next, I Andy it up, Bob's Burgers. Woo! That was a fun ass piece, but no one didn't expect it. I think that was what kicked off the algorithm. No one expected, and there's a lot of Bob Burger lovers out here. I always keep forgetting, I love adult animation more than anything, and I keep forgetting to draw adult animation shit because people fuck with adult animations than you think. and Bob's Burgers placed on top with that 1.5K views. It was amazing. People fucked with it. Almost 53 likes on that versus the 30, the 12, back to back 14, 12. And I did 39. I did 39 here. I almost went 40. So that actually did well. And then it tripled the same. I think I did this the day after. Yep, I did this on the 14th. So the Dobby was released on the 13th. I did this on the 14th. And then I believe when I did Conquest, it was on the next day, on the same day. Mostly I post two at the same time, 2 or 3 pieces at once. So yeah, so I posted the Invincible as well as Bob's Burgers on the exact same day, and then I waited a couple days until I posted the Daredevil and stuff like that, right? So hence why Invincible stayed on top, because Invincible was being talked about at that exact moment when I was doing this stuff. Thrag was whooping ass. He wasn't a fraud, but that's what placed my art on top because of the skill and talent that I had to draw them in my style. But then also, it's very popular. It was just really popular right then and there. So they were just probably boosting the shit out of Invincible stuff like crazy. So sometimes that's what I say. Being on social media is very exhausting. That's why I say never doom scroll on there. In my preference, sometimes you can't, you can't help it sometimes. But I try to keep my doom scrolling at a minimal. Why my words are all over the place? Minimally at a certain kind of thing, and I keep it at that minimal area, because if I start doom scrolling, my algorithm's all over the place now. What I'm touching, what I'm placing, what I'm favoring, what I'm sharing, what I'm liking, all matters. So I'll rather repost. Reposts aren't really going to do you. It'll just give you suggestions of them, but it won't tell you that your algorithm is based off of it. It'll just give you suggestions, like ads. Hey, what up, Bree? So keep that in mind when you want to boost your social media. Like I said, this is advice that I did give myself. And sometimes I got to remember the advice I'm giving y'all will help y'all out significantly. I'm telling y'all, do this, trust in it. It's not going to, Rome wasn't built in a day, but it's a process that you can definitely flourish from and can say, I did this, and say, boom, I got it. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, Invincible was just hot back in the day. It was just hot, just that recent. I did come back with the Daredevil. Now people did love the Daredevil. I went from comic books to another comic book. So basically, here's what I did. I went comic book, cartoon, comic book, anime, cartoon, anime, cartoon, comic, comic. Then I went to original. I did my original characters. Now, here's the thing about original characters. If you don't talk about them, people won't know about them. Now, eventually, I'd rather have the art, the character sink in before I start giving a conversation about them. Sure, you don't know them, but I feel like when you lock your eyes onto a character that the creator didn't introduce just yet, they just show you pieces. They just show you pictures. Just show you illustrations, cool, dope ass illustrations and stuff like that. It's up to you to be interested in it. But you're gonna lock in though. You're gonna be like, I've seen this character so many times now. I gotta ask. You know what I'm saying? Or then eventually I will make a video about the character. So yeah, I did do Kick Ass. I did Hit Girl. I will do Kick Ass 2 as well. But I did Hit Girl because I watched Kick Ass for a number of times, like at least good 5 times. It's a really good film. Second one I like as well. I like that a little bit more. Except for the ending. The ending was a little bit too shotty, like they try to their pacing was just too fast for it. But I did Kick Ass. You know what I'm saying? Kick Ass is a really good movie. A lot of people do fuck with it. But it did 339. It's not bad. Yo, what up, bad? So it didn't do as well as the rest of the videos that we have applied to it. And like I said, my OC, my OC probably that got 8 likes. My OC got 6. This one ain't got shit, but I liked it. I like my own shit. But came back with the Storm. 1.6 again. 1.6. I tried something, it didn't succeed. Went back to my way of doing the whole thing. 1.6K likes. Views, excuse me, my bad. 1.6K views, bruh. We tried doing some original stuff, something that no one really see, and it reduced me. It reduced me to the 300 to 400 range. You feel me? Draw someone that everybody know. That shit blew out of the gate. Storm, everybody knows Storm. Everybody love her. Everybody love her. You know what I'm saying? So Storm came back with the Storm. Did Cartoon Network, did something original and mixed. Those don't really do good. You feel me? They do all right, but they don't do good. You know what I'm saying? So, but I still do my I still sorry about that. I still do my crossovers. That's something I do yearly. That's your YouTube. Yeah, this is the YouTube. I'm showing the shorts. I'm just giving y'all a guide and a quick long talk of how you should place your videos and what makes it go from the lows to highs and the highs to the lows. So that's what I'm talking right now. So anybody that wants to listen on YouTube or Facebook or what's on whatnot, I know I'm supposed to be drawing, but I'm really just there to chill with y'all. Mostly, I didn't really have anything really good to prep because I don't want to use up all my prints here. So I'm just waiting. But yeah, blank covers, excuse me, not prints, but my blank covers. But yeah, I came back with Chibis. Woo! Chibis is the way, brothers and sisters. So when Chibis did White Rabbit, 25 likes. Better than that recent shit that we was getting. We was getting like 6 here, 6 there, 8 there. We got 31 there. Like I said, 30 to 35 is 30, like 30 to 40 is my average range of people liking my stuff on story. That's the average. You know what I'm saying? If it's very out of the gate, like popular, and then my skill and talent amplifies it, yeah, I'll get something like the Coraline piece, where it went 284. Just like when I did Magical Girl. And then what applied it even further is because she had a theme song to the Magical Girl. I fuck with it. I got it on my playlist. But I added it to the time lapse, the process video. So people that was already, I think she at this time when I did this, she already dropped the episode 1. She already dropped episode 1 on YouTube. So I watched that shit at least 3 times, like 4 times. That shit got me. I can't wait till she get an actual official. Like she has a show. It is a show, but like officially on a program, and she runs that. Like I can't wait for that moment where she does it. She got talent, especially in comedy. I love it when people breathe comedy in their stuff, man. It makes me lock in because I'm like, yeah, you have this, you have that, but the comedy in it, the slight jokes, I love that stuff. But anyway, like I said, guys, chibis are always a hit, man. Chibi, if you have a chibi style, run with that. People love it still. I think it's something that will never get old. Chibi styles will never get old. I'm not gonna lie. And then everybody has their own unique chibi style, and it's only not a lot of people don't do it. Granted, you'll probably see some chibi styles probably just due to your algorithm, but keep it a band. You don't see a lot of chibi art on social media, and I'll be on social media for a good little penny. The only way you may have seen it is if you are catered to that demographic that your algorithm is placing you in. So you see a lot of cutesy art. So you like cutesy art stuff in that area, you will get chibis and cutesy art stuff. So when it comes down to it, chibis are always still a great way to do art pieces. So for White Rabbit, I did 684, which was great. It was my first attempt of doing chibis and applying it to the shorts on YouTube. Did really well. Then I think it did 25 with some few comments. And like I said, you get a lot of people that does great comments and compliments, and then some people that says like, "Yo, you deserve more than just these 5 varnishes." You know what I'm saying? So it's just like those comments there is showing that your work is mattering to a demographic that you're providing it for. So mine, as an artist that does fan art, I do a great success in video in process videos. It shows that it works because I'm hitting 1 point something K likes almost nearly per video. So my niche, you look at all your content and this is why I say it's important to look at your stuff. It's important to look at this stuff because you'll know what's missing and what's hitting. So, mind you, I say if it can get you to 500 or higher, keep it in. 500 is your basic, okay, I'm gonna place it in here. It just shows the level of how the art will be. You know what I'm saying? It just shows the level of how high it'll be. But as you see, certain shows won't hit. Level of detail of our pieces hit. The Piccolo just didn't do as much. I think I tried to redo Piccolo. I don't know why it just never hit, but it got people commenting. People underrated. You know, this better blow up. You know, you should earn more views. Your art looks like great. Like you'll get comments like these. It shows that your demographic is being it's there. It's just sometimes you get overlooked. You get overlooked sometimes, and that's where we have to band together to share the content out, repost it, like it. That's why I always keep droning on about it because that's where the hesitation and fail comes at. I could provide the content. I could tell you the ins and outs of what you can and can't do to the whatever you're trying to promote, which is mostly in this perspective is art. I'm telling you the ins and outs of it. So it's like I give everybody this, this, and this. What all I ask in receivance is just to share, to like, repost the content that I provide. Y'all want me to do this? Y'all want me to do that? So when it does come, it's like, where is everybody at? You know, and we always get that. But don't let the negativity, don't let that cognitive distortion, that negative thought come into your mind. Make it aware. I rather say make it aware rather than making it kept bottled up. If somebody ain't supporting, you fucking tell that shit. You tell it in a story or in a post. Yeah, motherfuckers just ain't supporting. I'm just gonna keep it dead real how it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I said, let me poke fun at Chat GPT. I said, I literally asked Chat GPT, and I think, hold on, I think they save questions. I'm not sure if they save questions. Hold on. I don't know if it saves it. Hold on. I don't think it saves it. But basically, a couple of friends were like, use Chat GPT because sometimes that can give you a great uh, depiction, like a great image of what you need to do and what you have to do. And so when I asked them, I said, "Why is my Instagram videos, not hitting a certain number, but they're hitting them in certain numbers in their other social medias, right?" And they said, "Yeah, well, mostly posting, you know, uh, process videos, tutorials, telling why you made the piece. That shit that we already do. So what are we missing here? You know what I'm saying? What are we missing?" And this is why I went to YouTube to show what we could be missing in your art. So when you say, and then don't, like I said, don't get me wrong, let these small numbers just boost the bigger numbers. You feel me? Let that be an addition. Don't take it away. Don't be like, oh, this didn't do well. This went from 558 and then but this one did 1.2K likes. So it's like, it's just my difference. No, don't think about the number. Just think about that you got it. You feel me? That you got it. Because people are still struggling to get 20 views in this bitch. You feel me? So keep that in mind. So when I do pieces, they might not see like I got 124 in this the Serpent Hosher, I can forgot his name. 124, Luffy 636, Wonder Woman 173. I did a design of how I designed it, my version of Hellboy 1.2, and that's a character design. Hellboy's notable, but that's a character design. People could have been like, "Oh, fuck with the design," and I wouldn't have got nothing. You feel me? But it blew it up. It gave it a 1.2. I said, what? Y'all like my little Hellboy design? Shit, I gotta keep going. And then when I kept going, I got 175. And I said, damn, I'll go back to something else. You know what I'm saying? I just kept it going, kept it doing other shit. I put Darkwing Duck up on there. It wasn't it. And I dropped that nigga like at least 3 times. I dropped Darkwing Duck 3. This is my 3rd time reposting it. Once I saw that shit kept going at once around, it didn't even reach 200. I said, man, fuck that shit. I'm just keep it there. I got tired of it. It's just at this moment on this page or at this moment, it's just Darkwing Duck ain't important right now. You know what I'm saying? So don't think of it like, oh man, they want to see my Darkwing Duck. I literally did Darkwing Duck and Duck Rogers at the exact same time, and people fuck with my Duck Dodgers than they would fuck with I mean, some people did with the Darkwing, but people put more love into the Duck Dodgers than they did the Darkwing Duck. You see what I mean? Both damn ducks. But what made it better? What made one better than the other? Because it's Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes is well thought out and respected. Well, I wouldn't say Darkwing Duck isn't respected, but it's one show versus a whole entire 40 to 50 to 60-year decade of Looney Tunes. You feel me? And Daffy Duck being one of the most iconic characters from Looney Tunes. So that put it on top. That puts him on top than Darkwing Duck. So that's what I said. Don't feel bad that don't think of it like, oh, I wasted my time drawing this. Then you're putting your art, you're bringing your art in the wrong perspective, or you're bringing it for the wrong reasons. You're making this shit for the wrong reasons. I like to make it because I want to see people's favorite characters in my style, but there's a lot of characters. And then sometimes when you do ask people, what's your favorite character? Some people don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So now you're forced to just draw a character. That's why I recommend Tiny Decisions or a spin the wheel app. If you can apply many shows of characters inside that wheel, do as much to your heart's content. I think my largest is 111 on Tiny Decisions. Unfortunately, Tiny Decisions is only an iOS or Apple app. So if you don't have Apple, you ain't gonna get that particular app. I believe Google has it. I think Google Play has it, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But when I can't find a character to draw, and I can't depend on the people when I ask them, what do you want to see me draw? And they don't say anything, I'll be like, okay, then we'll do the spin the wheel, which we did on Whatnot 2 nights ago. We did the spin the wheel, and then we did, sketch cards like these. We did Jade from Jackie Chan Adventures. We did Rimuru from Reincarnated Slime. We did Andre 3000 from Class of 3000. We did, I believe his name is Randy Mahoney or something like that. I guess it Ninth Grade Ninja. It used to be a very old Cartoon Network show. But did that, and I haven't watched this show, but it's from Hitman Reborn, one of the main characters, I guess. Yeah. One of the main character here. So I did Hitman Reborn, and then lastly we landed on Spider-Man Miles Morales. So we just did Miles Morales pinned down by Kingpin. So like I said, we just did random stuff because I'm like trying to figure out what people like or trying to do characters that is going to get you views. That's the wrong way of doing it. That's basically like clout chasing as much as some of these content creators that be trying to be content creators be doing. Take somebody else's ideas or take somebody else's kind of niche and then run with that shit and then wonder why their little 15 minutes of fame didn't last long because the personality is ass. Their work is ass. You feel me? Because you just took it off of somebody else. And that's why it's great to know what you're good at. Find your way. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually people's going to see okay, you don't got nothing to offer because you obviously just regurgitated it and you don't have no actual creative thoughts or ideas that puts you at the top or at the table as others. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's one of the things that I gotta understand that I had to understand as well. Not the part where I just love doing characters just to be doing them. I love to just see. I just want to just prefer, not perfect, but improve my style as far as I can. And that's what's just important to me. And then I just like to see people's face when I draw their favorite character. That's my genuine response to that. That's my wholesome response to that. I like to see that because I like to see people draw my characters And I sometimes get jealous when they go be up and beyond and do some fan art or not some fan art, or fanfic of that shit. And I'm like, yo, I gotta follow you now. You know what I'm saying? I just followed somebody that did Osmosis Jones, but in a fanfic way. And I was like, yo, now I gotta follow you. You know what I'm saying? Shit, got my shit. You know, so that's what I said. Like, and this is recent. I just did that like not too long ago, like 3 hours ago, when I followed them and liked their stuff. So mind you, just look at the stuff that you create, look back at it, see what hits. Like I said, chibis were hitting. Um, White Rabbit was hitting. Venom just went straight out the Watergate. Kratos, I love the Kratos chibi. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do gotta finish the Spawn one. It's still, this is one of the projects that I left behind, but this one's supposed to be done. It's gonna be digital though, but he'll be added. I did do Martin. I finally did Martin, guys. Woo! I did a real life person in my style. That was a tricky one right there. I almost had moments where I was about to be like, "She," but it was fun though. That's what kept me locked in. It was fun. Um, like I said, the Naruto went back with the Naruto Sage. Probably wasn't the, I like this scene. When I draw anime characters, I try to put a message behind the art piece as well of what made it significant in the first place. That made it the most important, one of the most greatest episodes that or arcs that ever dropped for an anime. Not a lot of people see that thoroughly or that deeply into it, um, unless the message is smack dab clear right in front of them. Um, just like how I did the Ace piece right here. Now my blank sketches that I didn't really do well. It didn't do that well. So that's why I said, you see the difference where versus Whatnot, where people be like, oh, but I'd rather see traditional, but I blow up a lot when it comes to my digital. So it's like, why would I sacrifice one to please the other? You know what I'm saying? Either respect what I do and as much as I do it for, and that's it. So trying to cater for an audience or cater for people that aren't even going to be invested in your work, but rather have suggestions or advice or critique, but never ever try to implement not a single ounce of an investment in your shit. And I'm talking like a consistent investment. You just come in for a few days or something like that. You share it or you conversate. I always tell people conversation is my utmost important thing to me. Communicating. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about something else that I don't know, then I'll probably be lost. But communicating is my biggest thing when it comes to streaming. So I do like it when people talk back and forth. I understand if you can't, but that's just something I like because I made a lot of great people over the course of time of just talking and then going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't miss out opportunities when I be like, when people come into live and I be like, hey, how's it going? But they don't say nothing. I'd be like, I kind of feel kind of like, but people always have the opportunity to say, oh, I'm at work or I'm doing this or that. I'm just listening, which is great. Great communication because that's what artists need to learn is communication because a lot of them sorry as hell in communication when it comes down to their business, their art. You feel me? You can't not be communicative. You have to have communication, and you can sometimes you have to be the first person to communicate. You have to. You can't wait on the next person. You can't hesitate. You got to be the first person. People can see the confidence in you when you're the first one to speak in the room where everybody else is quiet. You feel me? So sure, yeah, you can be shy, you can be nervous, but you gotta get rid of that. That's why I said streaming is a great way of knowing that because you can be yourself. People are there for the content you provide. If there's not nobody, cool. Like I said, my last Whatnot, nobody joined. Only one person joined, and that's my home girl over there, P over here. She joined, but she's not a sports head. So I forgot Knicks had the championship. You feel me? And I forgot, damn, and I forgot to cancel the dang Whatnot because I wanted to watch the Knicks game. So I was like, fuck. And I started at 8:30, and their game started at 8:30. You feel me? I said, what happened to Sunday? But that's what I'm saying, guys. Make sure just to pay attention to what you create and what it caters to. You feel me? And like I said, sometimes it can just be the popularity of it. But for TikTok, it won't let me show the absolute Batman for some reason. It just won't. I tried it. And then, like I said, I did make a new TikTok, guys, and this is my last one. But From here on forward, I'm not focused on applying any type of, you know, anything too critical that will have it just hold me in a way. But you see how these views are? Seven. Well, you can't see them, but let me go in close for you guys. So, say for instance, for the TikTok, this is a fresh TikTok that I did. This is a fresh TikTok that I did. So, this is how you understand what content you need to provide for your people. I'm trying to get it in the right way, but I highly doubt I could probably do it. Let me see if I can zoom in. I don't think I can zoom in, guys. Oop, no, that's my forehead. I don't think I can zoom in, but anyway, all these videos are process videos. I'll say it again. All these videos are process videos. But though also, I made it known in my bio, fan art, original characters, process videos. And I have a shop and commissions. Whenever I get a link, I got to get up to like, I think 500, like 100 to 500 people to get a link. But then I tell people comic inspired, nostalgic, pop culture art. You feel me? And I'm the creator of My Pick'em Comics, which is one of my characters right there, V, as the profile picture. Now, the reason why I started fresh is because eventually TikTok started kind of holding me with my algorithm. So now for this one, even if I'll be able to go live, I will not go live on this account. It is literally what it's called, JR Arts 94 Collection. So you just basically see me doing a process video collection set. Now I'll do other videos. I will do other videos like photos and how to and stuff like that. But you see how my algorithm right now for tutorials are. I posted this 10 hours ago and it only got 13 views. Posted this rough sketch of Martin, 242 views. So here's the moment that's extremely critical. This is where I got lost in the sauce. But yeah, that's where things get really critical for you, where you're like, okay, people wanted to see a lot of tutorials from me, but nothing was shaken. This is where your people come in handy. People that supports you, that really actually invest in your work and want to see your growth. This is where you tell them, ask. Tell them I need a favor. I need this post. I need this pushed out as much as it can be, as much as you can do it, because it's an educational video. It teaches people how to sell shade. So it's educational purposes. Who doesn't want to share education? You feel me? So I keep that in mind to communicate with the people who support me and try to push that out, right? But like I said, not everything succeeds well. Portuguese the Ace didn't do really well. It only did 189, 198. Um, the Mosako from Ghost in the Shell did really well. Venom's chibi did really well for it being my first chibi drop, at least. No, it's not. It's not. My bad. Kratos is my first, and that did 634. So I'm getting hit or misses. Sometimes the videos do matter. The video music does matter sometimes. But then, like I said, God of War Laffy came out, and it's being talked about still in the grapevine for the hashtag. So putting God of War Ragnarok hashtag probably boosted my account further. You know what I'm saying? Once One Piece comes back, this video of Get Ace might bump up. Who knows? It might bump up. But the important thing is with your content is that you are now. I placed it. I wish they showed who follows you after a post, but I got comments of compliments. You know what I'm saying? And I have fun with them too. You know what I'm saying? It's so peak, and I had to put the Luffy goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. You know, like just being communicated with the people that are new or your recent followers and stuff like that. That's how you solidify people to get to follow you. But don't fret about it. And like I said, keep making editing videos. Try editing new ways, new different opportunities to push out. But like I said, this one didn't do really well, but I'm gonna still place it here, and because it's still a tutorial and it's still helpful for people who run by it. You know what I'm saying? So mind you, yeah, just doing as much as I can. Yeah, just doing as much as I can and everything like that. But I completely shut down Pick 'em Comics. I'm just gonna leave it for Instagram and my Patreon. Just leave it in those two, and then post some stuff of that on here. Mix it with my fan art because, like I said, it already says I already do original characters, so just mix it in there. You know, once or twice, not make it too, you know, there. I was thinking maybe doing anime cartoon comic, kind of give it a playing field with that, so the algorithm knows what I drop every few days or same day, like in every two posts or three posts. It knows I drop cartoon, anime, comics type situations. Um, but yeah, this is my last one though. After that, I ain't making no damn TikToks ever again. You feel me? Never anymore. Uh, ain't 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 that the truth, Martin? Chasing your dreams is hard. Mm, post it. See, I like that shit. And I love that there's a lot of artists out. I like that there's a lot of celebrities out here that's giving the full 411 of like this shit ain't easy. Trying to fulfill your dream and what you love to do, and you know that you're good at it, you're tremendous at it. But there's a lot of other people that does it too. But what gonna separate you? What separates Denzel from any other black actor? A reason why Denzel gets picked first than the rest of them? Because that motherfucker is Denzel. Okay, but no. He earned his spot. He earned it, and he's very humble. He's a very humble guy. You know what I'm saying? And he's very motivational. It gives you inspiration. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy that talks his shit. You feel me? He knows what he talks about, and it can inspire you to do the best you can do as a person. So I think that's what sets that puts Denzel on top. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that Michael B. Jordan got his roses too, got his Oscar, because one, not a lot of black people won the lead actor. You know, and it's a great milestone that Michael B. Jordan is one of the top, bro, because he started shit. Well, my knowing, he was back in a TV series, but he was in, of course, my first time watching him was in Chronicles. That was my first time seeing Michael B. Jordan. Really didn't lock into his acting like that. Didn't really did, but I did feel for his character and how he played his character and stuff. I fell for it, but eventually, once I started seeing more of his films and stuff like that he was in, he started getting interesting. His thing was, it was like kind of like Jason Statham. I don't know if y'all watched an interview with Jason Statham, and he said, and then people always be like, "Man, I don't watch Jason because he always plays the same character." He knows that. He says in one of his interviews, "I'm not this fabulous great actor." He said, but I'm a little bit paraphrasing his words, but basically this is what he said. He's like, "I'm not no great actor, you know. I'm just a guy that got spotted and did well with it." You know what I'm saying? They just happened to look at my physique and just boom, there I go. I got a job. And now I'm this action-packed actor. You know what I'm saying? When he says I don't really change my character in these stories because I'm good at this one thing. This is what I'm good at. I'm good at action. I'm good at playing this particular character. Even though they're different characters, but the character, the persona around it, that gives those other characters lives, but the same similarities to the main thing of it, that's me. Why would I change that? And Jason Statham never, he ain't never flopped off a movie, bruh, unless it was way back in the day. But all his movies is good. If you're looking for action adventure, I always say Jason. Jason, watch it. He's good. You feel me? So it just all depends. You know what I'm saying? Like people, I like that. Like I said, at the end, I like that celebrities are coming out here and telling how it is and what it is, and this was hard. Yeah, sure, they told us before, but they're really deep for right now. They're just going really deep because I guess it's the ways of the world, man. You working for pennies on a dollar, basically type shit. You're barely paying for food, rent, stuff like that, and it's just like you see other people achieving their dreams, their goals. They're making thousands of dollars from it, and it's like, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm making like what, maybe 1,200 a week, while they just cashed in like what, that same amount in less than 3 days. It's kind of like an insult, you know what I'm saying, to what life slaps in your face. And it's like, I need to find something I'm good at and see if people make money out of it and try it while I'm working this. So we got to think of that. Never give up on the dream. We know it's hard. We know people always have success before us. It just is what comes with the territory. Our time will come. We may not know. And that's the thing about it, is that there's a lot of actors that's like 60 years old, never had a star on the Walk of Fame, never won an Oscar, you know what I'm saying, due to their performance. And they've been in the game for 40 to 60 plus years. Or not, excuse me, not 60, but like about 40 years, 30, maybe 30 to 40. I think mostly sometimes they'll say like 30, 35, 20 to 35, mostly. That's their years have been in the theater in there. You know what I'm saying? And then some of them that we've seen on the big screen, they prefer theater. It's a stable check. People are there to go see you. You always sell out. Like people be like, don't play with the theater. It's very rich. It's very creative. It's new. You're not working on, I mean, you're on a deadline, but you're not working on that that strong pressure that theatrical movies do. You know what I'm saying? So I like that, because the reason why I'm talking about this is because I really got into film at a very young age, around I was 2 or 3 years old. And my dad was in the movies and stuff like that. So he used to watch Jet Li, all these other Kung Fu films. I somehow learned to, have like a subconscious of gravitating towards that. I'm not really too much of a violent man, when it comes to watching that stuff, man. I'll watch some fight shit here and there, but not too violent. Like Saw violent. You know what I'm saying? I really don't I can't stomach that shit. I mean, I could watch it, but I just can't really fuck with it. Disturbing at that level for me, that humans can do that to actual humans and it can be real. It's just seeing that shit, thinking of that shit is just like it fucks with your mind a little bit. It's just like, I don't know how people watch this motherfucking shit for 7 to 10 movies. It's crazy to me. They just love seeing y'all some little torture freaks around here. I was like, yeah, y'all like give me your toes. Like, you know what I'm saying, tip of your shits or something. Like, I don't know, man. Till they pee on themselves. That's y'all like that shit. Y'all like those type of torture movies, don't y'all? Yeah, but y'all talk about Gooners though. Crazy work. But anyway, um, just find your stuff, guys. Find what you're good at. Work hard on it. Achieve it. You don't know what will happen. I promise you don't know what will happen. So, like I said, I stay consistent with my artwork. A lot of people always question, like, what am I doing with it? How I'm not there yet? Um, what are you waiting for? Type situations, I think in my mindset, I don't want to do it alone. I'd rather have somebody with me with it to be. I mean, yeah, you could be a person that'd be like, yo, I did this shit by myself for myself, but nah, I feel like I can rock with it when I have like a few people with me. The group. I feel like the group gives me confidence. I mean, I can give confidence myself. My art gives me confidence in the skill that I do, but I feel like just having those people around you and that y'all brought this up together, that gets me locked in further. You know what I'm saying? But doing it myself sometimes, it just always sometimes be the lack of knowledge. Sometimes it can always happen that way. You just gotta research, do your research, and it's always good. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's always great when you have somebody else that research it with you or already done it and helps you out and it tells you where to go to research it. And sometimes it's very hard for people to do, especially as artists. Take people's advice. Now, here's the thing. I know what I said before recently, where I said, don't people always got to have a critique or some advice. You don't got to listen to everybody that has that shit, which is true. You don't. Because, like I said, everybody has a suggestion, everybody has an opinion, everybody has a book that they want to tell you a whole story out of. You know what I'm saying? Front to back, 150 chapters. And I'm like, yo, hold up. I ain't here for that. You know what I'm saying? So, but they ain't put nothing in. They ain't share nothing. They ain't repost. They ain't comment. They ain't even have a conversation with you. Now, mind you, don't be the person to hesitate. Be the first person. Open up the door and let it happen. Because sometimes generally people just busy. People don't have the time to it. But when you open up that door to say, hey, how you doing? Whatever the outcome is that, it is. It is what it is. You gotta solidify yourself a great person that is going to invest in you, or you just get somebody that's just another number in the cog, in the machine, and just keep going until you get that other person again, the same person that wants to invest in your work and stuff like that. So, mind you, I keep my head strong and I keep it like that. Sometimes I tend to, get topsy turvy sometimes, but I gotta make sure to come back in, lock in, and do my shit. You know, but yeah, I just try to be the better me. You know what I'm saying? I only can best my old self. You know, there's times we gotta think about it. You're not there to be the best of the best of the best of them all. You got to be the best you. I'm gonna take a page from Terry Crews. He said, "Ain't nobody can be the best me, but me. There's only one me." Which he said, "There's only one Terry Crews," which is true. There's one Jr. Arts '94. There's one Sun in the Moon art. There's one Bree artistry. There's one Jasper art. You feel me? There's one of us. There's only one of us. The only person that we should be bettering is our past self. Sometimes I gotta remind myself that. So that's why I be like, when I see potential in y'all, don't slow yourselves down. It's good to have a break, but don't let anything distract you because nothing is really truly inflicting your life. It's nothing's coming into your life and just disrupting it at a huge scale as much as you would. Because you could be your worst enemy, your worst critic, but you could be your biggest motivator, your biggest best friend if you want to friend yourself, which is true. Loving yourself, basically, is what I'm saying. A lot of people don't love themselves, and some people is still trying to find that love on what they like to do. You know what I'm saying? Me, I like to do my art. I can breathe it. I can eat and I can not eat or drink for 2 hours. You feel me? So I guess this live stream on Whatnot ain't really about selling pieces. I guess it's just to chat with y'all for a bit. And I know a lot of people ain't really here for that. They're here to buy. They're here to buy stuff. I understand that. But like I tell people, there's stuff in the store right now. Like I said, I'm commission based. If you want me to commission, if you want to commission something, sketch cards are over there. I'm ready anytime you are. Need digital art? It's there whenever you're ready. Need a 9x12 art paper commission? It's right there when you need it. Blanks, kind of a little bit off limits right now. But yeah, guys, be the best person you can be. My goal out of everything, I don't know. I think I do know. That's me hesitating. See, hesitation can lead you to a downfall as well. I think and this is my genuine, God honest answer. And I don't put nothing on God so hot, so lightly. I tread softly when I do that. But what I like to do with my art, just get it acknowledged. Everybody knows it. When people see it, they see it. It distinctively separates me to where people are now only seeing me in that style that I do, that I'm the only one that does this style. I'm the only one that does these characters. This does these books. You know what I'm saying? I am actually me. And I would like for y'all to see who doesn't want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? But not at that certain degree. You know? At a degree where I could do it full time. I've always keep telling y'all about that. We gonna get there one day. Full time, baby. But then also, but also, I live for it. I live for the art, man. I live for the art. I can't tell any stronger than that. Some people do it for hobbies. Some people just to do it for one goal, specifically like bookmaking or making a manga or a comic book. But I think of just putting it everywhere. Merchandise, comics, fan art. You know what I'm saying? So it's all through the social medias, process videos everywhere. So when people see my art, they're like, yo, can't miss this guy. And then my consistency adds on to it, builds my resume up. So I'm there. So when I help artists, because I genuinely do want to see y'all grow. I want to see everybody thrive. To be honest, besides outside of art, I want everybody to thrive. We all have our place. We all have our moments to shine. But like I said, we gotta weed ourselves out away from people who are just living life. They just surviving. But we want to live though. Kid you not, guys. We do want to live, right? To do what we love and wake up the next day happy, and just nothing can dampen your days. Nothing can dampen your spirit. Knowing that you got work, you sitting at a desk 9 to 5, busting your butt to do these art pieces, the commissions, the books, the storytelling. Shit means a lot, man. I'm just a guy that sees tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like singing. So yeah, I'll be on my joint, guys. Okay, so we're not live on Facebook. I know they said the multi thing was having an issue. Let me see how I'm live on YouTube. I think I should be. If not, we just yapping. Oh no, we're live on YouTube though. Yeah, we're live on YouTube. I'm gonna jump on YouTube real quick, guys. So if y'all are in the chat, let me know. But for those, well, mostly that's saying that we're only on Whatnot. We got two people over here on YouTube, and we got well, it shows that I'm still present here, but we got our moderator as well as one of our biggest supporters, the Son of the Moon Art, aka P. You know what I'm saying? Don't have me pronounce her real name. My pronunciation is ass. Anyway, but hopefully y'all learned something today in this live. You know, I mean, of course, we didn't do any artwork right now. I mean, we did this Gwenpool sketch. Probably might do a little bit more perspective to it though, because I need to. But I think this conversation needed to be told on YouTube and whatnot, because I don't really talk about this stuff only on TikTok. Because streaming is, like I said, it's just a hobby for me. A lot of people always be like, "You can make money from it." I'm like, "Oh no, I can make money from it." I'm a person that's on social media every day, practically, to try and find other ways and things to promote my work and stuff like that. Try the ins and outs. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I don't do is provide another type of content, another service. You know, where someone was talking about art, they'll talk about manga specifically. You know, or what they're drawing or what they're creating is more specific to that said content that they want to bring. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, mostly if a comic book artist is there, they'll probably I would talk about comic book art, cover variants, or talk about the books specifically. You know, if I read the story or not. You know, talk about that, make comic book content. But that's not my thing. I mean, I do got some well respected people like King and Queen Lion and other people that does that type of content. So I'm like, I don't want to do everything that everybody else is doing. You know what I'm saying? But I do appreciate movies though. And I know there are people that already does it, but on my TikTok, there's only a few people that actually has a consistent, strong pool of audience to that content. Everybody else, they make their do thing. So eventually, I might do that. Talk about movies or whatever. But man, uh, yeah, that's it, guys. So I really do appreciate it. And my bad, I didn't. I joined YouTube mad late to look at the comments. So I know some of y'all probably already left, but those who have stayed, I really do appreciate y'all for staying this long. Um, like I said, do y'all thing. Do y'all thing and go to the upper room. Not that upper room, but to a higher status for where you're at now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking afterlife. Just to make that abundantly clear. Um, but like I said, guys, I will be doing some sketch cards or whatnot again. I don't want to confirm it, but just make sure to check out the schedule. Um, I'm mostly probably going to. Ooh, I might live stream digitally. I'm not gonna lie. I probably might do whatnot digitally through that. Um, trying to see if I can get my OBS set up for it. It should be set up for it, but just do a digital art from here, and then just try to get some of these pieces that's in the shop. So because like I told you, I really don't like inventory. I do not like this art sitting around. Like y'all think I'm gonna be joking. I do not like this art sitting. I do it, and I want them gone. But I ain't gotta go cheap though to get them out of the way. But get them gone, affordable price. Just need them gone. That's why I do commission stuff, commission based stuff, because it's to a client, and I gotta stay in my house because they already paid for it, and they get shipped right to them when it's done. You know what I'm saying? Not in my house. But when I have stuff like extra prints and all that stuff in here, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta tug that shit back and forth to a con and stuff. Mm-mm. I'll drop some limited prints, call it a day. They can fit my hand. You feel me? So I've just been creating characters and stuff. I know Hero Convention just passed this weekend, this 3-day weekend, and a lot of my buddies is like, I told him, I said, I'll be a guest walking around or something like that because it's my first time there. He said, a guest. He said, the first thing you're gonna be is a vendor, my brother. I'm like, whose money is we about to spend? Okay, because it ain't out of my pocket. Sure, but yeah, I think that's it, guys. I ain't gonna leave y'all. I hear me yawning. I'm yawning like 3 damn times, but shiver me timbers. But like I said, guys, man, just make sure to check out the post. Anything that seems important to me, I really do appreciate y'all for sharing and reposting. Like I said, it's the tutorials, my pick'em comics with my characters and story, and then just the online shop. You know what I'm saying? I just really appreciate that. Appreciate that. I like to reward people, man, that does great shit, hard work. Take that moment out their lives to just like, let me just support and drop this shit for them. You know what I'm saying? It does mean a lot to people because sometimes it's like that movie Pursuit of Happiness. My bad for going further, but it's like the movie Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith when he had to give up his last $5 to that old guy so he can catch a cab. Last dollar. Don't know when he's gonna eat or anything like that. But then now, coming back to the end of the movie, he sees that same person he gave the $5 to, and then he said, "Welcome aboard." You feel me? Welcome aboard, and here's your $5 back. You feel me? So, in Pursuit of Happiness, it showed me something that people have to just truly trust and invest in what you do, and then the fruits of that labor flourishes. You get to taste it, and I've seen it happen to friends, to family, mutuals, acquaintances, whatever. Their lives successful, if not successful, getting there little by little. So yeah. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get myself some dinner. Probably might crash. Probably gonna watch some Reincarnated as a Sword. Hey, and like I said, I'll let y'all know when I'm on live again. Just make sure to check out the what you call it. But like I said, I'm very active on Instagram, so please do not feel afraid to follow the Instagram because that's where I'm heavily active through story, reels, and posts. So yeah. That being said, y'all take it easy. Peace.